Please share this to your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good shit, man. I have to bring you guys a story right now because it's very important to me. And I think it should be very important to everybody else out there in the world who have loved ones. And it just makes you... In this story, it just makes you think about... You know the story? You know this story? Hopefully you do. Hopefully you don't share it with nobody right quick. Let me go ahead and get to it. First of all, let's go ahead and get the theme song out the way. Get that shit out the way. Let's get that going on. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Listen Doctor Radio, bringing you guys a brand new show. Let's get it. Let's get it, man. What's good? This is the Listen Doctor Radio. Shout out to the people on BIGO. Shout out to the people on YouTube that's going to watch this on the replay in the morning. Hopefully you guys are having a good night. Hopefully you guys had a good night last night. I know I did. Had fun on BIGO, and I'm live right now on BIGO as well. I have to give you guys an amazing story that came to me through my wife. Today she was just surfing some shit, and she found the story out, and it kind of shocked me, and it's going to shock you guys. I don't know if you guys watch the TV show, but I used to watch this TV show a lot with my mom when she was living, and it fucked me up because I liked the guy. I met him in New Orleans before when he came, and it really, really fucked me up. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and give you guys the topic. Today we are here to let you guys know. Shout out to you people that's in the building over here on BIGO. See you guys. I see you. I see you. I see you guys. Oh, okay. Thank you guys. Got me to that 1 star. Today's story is going to be about a young man who played a part in killing his own nephew. Yes, I said it. A man who played a part in killing his own nephew. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let's go to listen to a story, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. But please pay attention to the topic. Please pay attention to the story. Let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. This young man played a part in his nephew's death. Here we go.
When this happened, the Montgomery family was devastated. That played out in front of thousands on their reality show on the Oprah Winfrey Network. Now, some 4 years after it happened in 2016, Miss Robbie, the owner and creator of Sweetie Pies, her son, allegedly set it all up. James Timothy Norman, seen in this mugshot, is now charged with conspiracy in the murder-for-hire death of his nephew, 18-year-old Andre Montgomery. Federal court documents detail the meticulous murder happening all in the midst of the family filming their popular cable TV reality show, Welcome to Sweetie Pies. The show, based off the popular soul food restaurant in St. Louis.
All this stuff is at Sweetie Pies, but we're really excited about our tea, my tea.
Federal investigators say the murder-for-hire starts with Norman obtaining a $450,000 life insurance policy on his nephew back in 2014. Fast forward to March of 2016, federal investigators say Norman had been in contact with Memphis, Tennessee exotic dancer Terica Ellis, leading up to the murder, with both arriving in St. Louis at the same time. Court docs show Ellis and Norman used prepaid cell phones to communicate on the day of the murder before locating the 18-year-old. That's where authorities say the gunman found Andre Montgomery in the 3600 block of Natural Bridge Avenue and shot him to death around 8:02 in the evening. Court docs say Ellis's phone was pinged in the area. Shortly thereafter, the exotic dancer fled St. Louis back to Memphis, calling Norman in the process. Days later, authorities say Ellis deposited over $9,000 in cash into various bank accounts, and Montgomery called in to collect on his nephew's life insurance policy he set up. Both Montgomery and Ellis are now federally charged in the conspiracy in the murder for hire. Montgomery was arrested in Jackson, Mississippi, as he was in the process of reopening another Sweetie Pie's location. Now, for perspective, this is Norman's deceased brother's only child. And we reached out to the lawyers for Miss Robbie to get a statement from her. He told me that she is too distraught to speak at this time, and will release a statement whenever she wants to. From the live here in Midtown, Darian Henderson, Fox 2 News.
Let's go watch the next one. I hope y'all heard that. His brother's deceased son. His deceased brother. He already lost his brother to gun violence years before. His brother. He actually got his brother's son, his nephew, killed for money. For money, y'all. For money.
Closed captioning brought to you.
Stupid ass ads. Thank you guys for coming in the building. If you're in the building, tap the stream.
On a life insurance policy. Good evening. I'm Samantha Jones.
I'm Steve Savard. Tonight's new details come from federal authorities. James Norman is charged in a murder for hire plot. The victim, his nephew, Andre Montgomery, was killed in March 2016 on Natural Bridge. He was the grandson of Miss Robbie, the original owner of Sweetie Pies. The restaurant and the family were the focus of a series on the Oprah Winfrey Network. News 4's Corey Stark is in the control room tonight. And Corey, this story is getting national attention.
Yeah, it sure is, Steve. And we have some of those details. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Montgomery's uncle, 41-year-old James Norman, was arrested this morning in Jackson, Mississippi for conspiring with another woman to have his nephew killed. Federal authorities say their murder for hire plan was all over a $450,000 life insurance policy. Our News 4 cameras were there in the late night hours of March 14th, 2016, after Andre Montgomery was shot and killed inside a house on Natural Bridge. Andre had appeared several times on the St. Louis-based reality TV show Sweetie Pies, this video showing him graduate just a few years before he was killed. Now, 4 years after his murder, authorities still don't know who pulled the trigger, but say Montgomery's uncle, James Norman, and a woman were behind it all. Court documents show 2 years before the murder, Norman took out a $450,000 life insurance policy on his nephew, in which Norman was the only beneficiary. In the days leading up to the murder, Norman, who was living in LA, began communicating with an exotic dancer by the name of Teresa Ellis, who lived in Memphis, Tennessee. They both traveled to St. Louis, and on the day of the murder, prosecutors say Ellis contacted Montgomery to learn his exact location. After learning that information, she used a temporary phone to call Norman, and Montgomery was killed minutes later. Authorities say Ellis's phone location placed her in the area of the murder at the time of the homicide, and that she called Norman immediately after the murder took place and then left town. Soon after, Ellis deposited over $9,000 into bank accounts that previously had a negative balance. And a week after the murder, Norman contacted the life insurance company to collect on the $450,000 policy. And court documents show that despite several attempts to collect the insurance money, Norman hasn't been able to do so because he's failed to submit proper documents. Norman does own a Sweetie Pies restaurant in Mississippi. Ellis also faces a conspiracy charge in connection with the murder. Corey Stark, News 4.
So y'all saw that shit. Y'all heard that shit. Your own fucking family member. His own uncle, ladies and gentlemen. For the people that's watching this on YouTube, hopefully you guys can see what happened just now. A uncle is being charged with the debt of his nephew. He killed his nephew for money. He killed his nephew for money. $445,000 life insurance policy that he had on his nephew. He plotted to kill his nephew. And it might not fuck with y'all like it fuck with me, because I actually had someone who did this to my mom. My mom, before she died, my mom had cancer. My auntie was spotted trying to put a life insurance policy on her sister. But when they found out that she had cancer, they took away the policy. They wasn't gonna give her a policy because she had cancer. She was gonna die anyway. It brought a lot of shit back to me, y'all. It brought a lot of shit back to me. And just thinking about your family member who you love, your uncle, had you killed. And we want to talk about life. Life is so fucked up. We want to talk about how people get bullied on social media. We want to talk about how people get bullied in the real world and shit like that. This man was murdered by his own uncle. And like I always tell you guys, every time something happens like this, they never show the female fucking face. They never show her face. But his face can be plastered everywhere, right? I got a problem with that. I got a problem about that. Because I really have a problem about that. This man's face can be plastered. But the bitch who set him up too, her face is not plastered everywhere. Nobody can see who the fuck she is. She's probably gonna cut a deal and get less time. Let's think about it. She's probably gonna cut a deal with the cops and get less time. And you said, let's talk about loyalty. You're right. It's none. If your own family member, your uncle, your blood can kill you for money. My mom always told me money is the root of all evil. And my daddy always told me it's not money. Vagina is the root of all evil. That's what my dad used to tell us. It seemed like he's right. Because he got a man, this man got a female to set up his nephew, and another man pulled the trigger. But we want to talk about Black Lives Matters in black community. We want to talk about Black Lives Matters. We want to go out and scream that shit. Let everybody know that Black Lives Matters. So I ask you, Black Lives people, Black Lives Matters. Jesse Jackson, Reverend L. Sharpner, whoever the fuck, Obama, Michelle, any one of you pro-black motherfuckers, Nick Cannon, any one of you bitches, tell me why this man killed his nephew. If Black Lives Matters so much. Why he was able to kill his nephew. And didn't even collect on the money. That's the cold part. This man's been dead for 4 years, y'all. He's been dead for 4 years. He still haven't got the money for murdering his own nephew. If you are coming in the building and you're new, we are talking about the story right now. The owner of Sweetie Pies killed his nephew for money. He got his nephew killed for money. If you would like to watch the full story, head over to my YouTube channel, the www.listendoctor.com, YouTube, and you can watch the full story from the beginning. But that's what we're talking about right now. Mr. James Tim, killed his nephew, Andre, in 2016 for money, y'all. For a $440,000 life insurance policy. He killed his nephew. And it just came out this year. Actually, yesterday. And he's been dead for 4 fucking years. But we want to talk about Black Lives Matters, black folks. We want to make white folks accountable. We want to hold cops accountable. We want to hold the cops accountable. Because they supposed to know better. They hired to serve. They hired to serve and protect. This man was hired to be this man's fucking uncle. He lost his daddy to gun violence, y'all. The boy who was murdered, Andre, lost his daddy to gun violence. Black on black crime. And you know how he was repaid? His uncle got him murdered. His uncle got him murdered. So I ask you guys, where's the loyalty? Where's the respect?
I drove my mom through the park to the spot where Andre lost his life.
Look at this bitch ass nigga. The video that you about to show, I'm about to show you, he took his mom to the grave site. I'm sorry, not to the grave site. He took his mom to the house where his nephew got murdered in 2016. He took his mom there. What up, Celtic Knight? He took his mom there to see the house where they grew up at in front of his grandmother's house where he was murdered. This bitch ass nigga did this. And you know he got his nephew killed. What kind of nigga you gotta be to go bring your mother to a fucking site where your nephew was gunned down at and you was the cause of it? What kind of bitch ass coward is you? If you are new and you're watching this shit on the replay, we are talking about Mr. Tim bitch ass, coward ass, faggot ass, Jason Wilson, whatever the fuck his last name is, who got his nephew killed for money that he never received. That's what we're talking about. And if you're watching this on the replay, hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell so you can get the post notifications. Because YouTube is trying to censor me for some reason. They don't want to hear a real nigga speak. So please follow me. Share my broadcast on all your platforms. Facebook, social medias, whatever the fuck you got a social media account at, share it for me. Because stuff like this is being hidden. They don't want me to talk about it. But thank you guys for watching, man. If you are in the building, hit that tap on BIGO. If you are in the building, hit that like button. It brings more people into the building. Look at this faggot nigga, bringing this bitch ass nigga, bringing his mom to a fucking place where his nephew was killed at. And he was the cause of it the whole time.
I've not been there yet. I don't think mom had been there either. And we're still on the same street basically as my grandmother's house. Natural Bridge.
Look, y'all might not know, I did 2 years of body language when I went to school. That right there was a fucking lie. He never been there before. You actually knew where your nephew was murdered at. Because that's your grandmother's house. You faggot motherfucker. In front of your grandmother's house. He was murdered. You bitch ass nigga. What kind of nigga is you to get your own nephew killed for money? Money, bruh. Money.
So you can see grandma's house right from here.
Uh-huh. Natural Bridge is the main street that goes from one end of the city to the next. Everything happens on Natural Bridge. All the crime, all the fast racing. This is it.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, so he came out and used the phone. So they had to shoot him right here on this porch.
We've lost a lot of family members here on this street. Andre, as of late. And then before Andre, my father. And in between that was Linda's son, Monique's brother, Aaron, who was like my brother. And it's all on this one street. A few blocks from each other. Right across from grandma's house.
Yeah, that's the sad thing about it.
Since Andre's passing, I haven't gone through this part of the city. And
Since Andre's passing, I haven't came through this part of the city. You know why? And look, can you see how he's pointing his eyes to the right? He's lying. He cannot look in the camera because he knows he's fucking guilty. You can't go in that street because you killed your nephew. You faggot motherfucker.
really, I've been avoiding it.
I mean, it's like all up and down the street.
Yeah.
We must stop killing, but it ain't, it's just signs. Oh, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm getting sick to my stomach just seeing this place.
You get back in the car, I take it 2 lights down the street. Just 2 lights to the spot where my dad got killed.
somebody walked up right beside him and put the gun right to his head, right there, and killed him in the car. This is the first time I've been here since your dad got killed. I ain't never even came back here.
My mom and dad were crazy in love with each other. They were supposed to get married. She was only 2 months pregnant with me when my dad got killed. So when I drive past the spot, I wonder, how would my life have been different if my father hadn't stopped to get a sandwich that day? Some old guys told me that the person that killed my dad was actually sitting inside the car with my dad.
He might have, because he was right there. I looked behind his ear, because when they told me where he was shot at.
You went and identified his body too? But then
And Aaron's body too. I went with them and identified.
Aaron got killed a few blocks up the street.
Yep. Okay, well, all these memories.
It hasn't been good for our family as far as the men are concerned. I mean, you look at it, me and Charles and now TJ, we always left.
I'm kind of glad you're gone, for your own safety.
I just wish y'all would come and leave me and Charles out there.
We go up about 3 more blocks, and that's where my nephew Aaron lost his life. Yeah, I think they was right in here somewhere.
Yeah. It was like my second or first year in prison. And I got a message when I got back to my cell, and they said, call home. I've been out playing basketball, and I got back, and they told me to call home.
This man murdered his nephew, and he's sitting up here acting like he's just so distraught of the neighborhood of all the killings. Why is this so acceptable in the black community, black folks? Why is it so acceptable that black folks can keep killing each other and nobody says anything about it, but when people like me say something about it, I am called a coon. I am called a Uncle Tom. Because I'm trying to put all our dirty laundry out there. I shouldn't talk about our dirty laundry because all people kill each other, Doc. But we kill each other more than anybody. And I'm not white. I'm not Mexican. I'm not Chinese. I don't know what the fuck those people are doing. I only know what my black folks are doing. My black people. So I only can speak about black folks. Yeah, I do stories about every other race. But I focus on my community because that's the community that I'm trying to help. That's the community that I want to help. Black folks. Instead of you calling me Uncle Time, instead of you coming to my video dumbing it down, disliking my video on YouTube, try to listen to what I'm saying. And maybe you'll understand that I mean well. That I say that we need to stop killing each other. This man killed his fucking nephew for money. He killed his nephew for money. Look at him. What kind of nigga does that, bro?
And I got on the payphone, called Mom, and
you can see through the whole video, he's not showing any eye contact. That's first rule of body language. You cannot show eye contact, you are lying. You are lying through your teeth.
then that's when you called me and said, Aaron, I thought you was going to tell me Aaron got locked up. And she said, no, he's dead. And I never expected that, I didn't. I mean, I was like, my brother, he was my cousin, but really, he was my brother. That was like one of the hardest moments for me being in prison, because I was away. And I wondered, like, if I had been there, I felt guilty for being in jail, not being there with him. And you told me he was dead.
Yeah, he was his friend.
They crushed him.
Killed both of them together right here. The young men today, they're just killing each other. My concern is, are we going to have another generation? Because these kids are killing each other before they have kids. Andre, my grandson, he was the last Montgomery.
I wish you'd reconsider coming out to California with me. Or if you don't like California, pick a city and I'll go open a restaurant there, I just wish we could all be together. It's something inside me feel like I have to take the wheel to talk to my mom into maybe moving out of California to guide everybody out of this situation.
I'm not going to say no. I will consider, but I could come visit. I love St. Louis, even though all this stuff is happening. I know I can't do nothing about it. Just pray for strength.
That's his grandmother. I mean, his mom. His mom. He put on his act. And come to find out, he is behind the murder of his nephew. Let's watch it one more time, y'all. I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts. But this shit is crazy. This shit has to stop. Black on black violence, it has to stop. But where does it stop with? I'm going to have more. When more information come out, I will have more about this case. But when does it stop? When does it stop?
A plot to kill to cash in on a life insurance policy. Good evening, I'm Samantha Jones.
I'm Steve Savard. Tonight's new details come from federal authorities. James Norman is charged in a murder for hire plot. The victim, his nephew, Andre Montgomery, was killed in March 2016 on Natural Bridge. He was the grandson of Miss Robbie, the original owner of Sweetie Pies. The restaurant and the family were the focus of a series on the Oprah Winfrey Network. News 4's Corey Stark is in the control room tonight. And Corey, this story is getting national attention.
Yeah, it sure is, Steve. And we have some of those details. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Montgomery's uncle, 41-year-old James Norman, was arrested this morning in Jackson, Mississippi for conspiring with another woman to have his nephew killed. Federal authorities say their murder-for-hire plan was all over a $450,000 life insurance policy. Our News 4 cameras were there in the late-night hours of March 14th, 2016, after Andre Montgomery was shot and killed inside a house on Natural Bridge. Andre had appeared several times on the St. Louis-based reality TV show Sweetie Pies, this video showing him graduate just a few years before he was killed. Now, 4 years after his murder, authorities still don't know who pulled the trigger, but say Montgomery's uncle, James Norman, and a woman were behind it all. Court documents show 2 years before the murder, Norman took out a $450,000 life insurance policy on his nephew, in which Norman was the only beneficiary. In the days leading up to the murder, Norman, who was living in LA, began communicating with an exotic dancer by the name of Teresa Ellis, who lived in Memphis, Tennessee. They both traveled to St. Louis, and on the day of the murder, prosecutors say Ellis contacted Montgomery to learn his exact location. After learning that information, she used a temporary phone to call Norman, and Montgomery was killed minutes later. Authorities say Ellis's phone location placed her in the area of the murder at the time of the homicide, and that she called Norman immediately after the murder took place and then left town. Soon after, Ellis deposited over $9,000 into bank accounts that previously had a negative balance. And a week after the murder, Norman contacted the life insurance company to collect on the $450,000 policy. And court documents show that despite several attempts to collect the insurance money, Norman hasn't been able to do so because he's failed to submit proper documents. Norman does own a Sweetie Pies restaurant in Mississippi.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? We're talking about Mr. Norman, Mr. James Norman, the owner of Sweetie Pies restaurant in St. Louis, Missouri. He killed his nephew. He got his nephew killed. And the evidence just came out yesterday to prove that he is the person behind his nephew's murder. This man put on a front on Oprah's channel, on Oprah's network. He put on a front. He cried at the funeral. He paid for half of the funeral. He did all kind of shit. You know, they had sold a lot of food at the restaurant to try to raise money for the funeral. The grandmother his mom spent so much money on the funeral. And he's behind it all. He is the person who got his nephew killed. He is. Look at a big Kool-Aid smile when he was arrested. Who smiles like that? I tell you who. A fucking psychopath. You about to go to jail for murder. You're not going to be out for the rest of your life, my dude. You're going to be in prison again. You was just in prison, and you say you felt bad that you was in prison because your brother got killed and you wasn't there. Now you're about to be in prison again. All your restaurants are about to go downhill. Your mother got to speak for your bullshit now. What are we doing, people? What are we doing? What are we doing to our people, bro? What are we doing, man? Black folks. I'm begging y'all, man. What are we doing? This is how we're supposed to live our lives? Worrying about other black folks killing us? This is how we're going to live our life? Worrying about if somebody else going to kill me in the streets? This man killed his nephew behind money. Behind money. And we got people in our real life, we got people on our Facebook page that don't mean us no good at all. We got people on our Facebook page that mean us the best of everything. Try to do things for you, love you, share your broadcast for you, do all kind of shit. And I just wonder, what are they doing behind my back? If an uncle can kill his nephew, what the fuck is this life worth? What is this life? I had to show this. And for the people that's watching this on the replay, if you get this far to watch this on the replay, just know that I care about my people. But I'm really afraid that if I do have a kid one day, this world won't be anything for my kid. I am worried for the new kids who are having kids, for the new adults who are having kids. I'm afraid for these kids to come into this world. I am. I'm so depressed because his mom reminds me so much of my mother. God bless Tammy. So she reminds me so much of her. The way she speaks, the way she walks, the way she talks, the way she does things for people. This was my mama's favorite TV show. This was one of her favorite TV shows. She even met the lady in person. And they both talked to each other and said, "You remind me so much of myself." I met him. Shook his hand. Because it was a year that Oprah did something special for my mom. And Oprah was asking people to write in for anybody who was a hero, who you deemed to be a hero, you want them to get a makeover. And we all wrote into Oprah. We didn't know my mama was going to get picked. And my mama got picked. And they made over my mom's house. Oprah actually made over my mom's house. She gave it a whole makeover. She did it. She fixed it all up. And the night she came, the people who we found out put up the money for that was them, the Sweetie Pie's family. And my mom was there to actually meet them. And I was there. I just walked in to get some food from the fridge. And I didn't know who he was. He was standing in the front room. My mom always taught us, if you come in the house to shake people's hand, shook his hand, say hello, met him, chill with him for a minute, drunk the lemonade or whatever with him. And, I just think, like, what the fuck? If you can do that to your nephew, what would you have done to my mama? If y'all was friends. What would you have done to your mama? And, I'm thankful my mom not here. I'm thankful my mom not living no more. Because this would have destroyed her world. Because She loved the fuck out of this guy. Shout out to the people that's making your way in the building. I see your ring. She loved the fuck out of this guy because of the passion that he had for this restaurant, the passion that he had for his mama, the passion that he had for his people, his co-workers. My mama loved that about him. And to come to find out he is behind the murder of his nephew is very, very heartbreaking. If you don't know the story or you don't know the TV show, just go watch one episode and you'll find out what I'm talking about. Go put on YouTube Sweetie Pies. Welcome to Sweetie Pies. It's a TV show on Oprah's network. On Oprah's network. Go check out one episode. Check out the pilot and you'll find out everything you need to know about this family. If you don't know what I'm talking about. The passion that he had for his employees. The passion that he had for his mama. And it's sad because in that video, he told his mom, you need to leave. Come to California with me. A lot of people don't leave their cities where they are born. And a lot of people get victim to the gun violence in their own city where they were born. A lot of people believe that they have to do that to keep it real. A lot of people believe that they have to stay there because if they leave their city, they feel like they are letting down their city in some type of way. That is false. You should want to leave your surroundings. I'm telling to anybody that's watching this right now, you should want to leave your surroundings. You should not want to be in the same place where you were. You should want to make your money, make your family, and elevate. You should not want to stay in the same place and stay there. You should want to elevate and elevate. And that's the problem with a lot of folks. Because we don't teach our people to elevate. We teach our people to stay in the same fucking place. And that's the problem. Thank you guys for watching the video, man. If you are in the building, hit the like button. Tap the stream. Let everybody know what you watched tonight, man. I will be doing more of this story when more information comes out. I had to do this tonight. I really had to do it tonight because today is my wife's birthday. Like I said, today is my wife's birthday. And I won't be on any social media at all today. She wants me to herself. So that's what she's going to get. Thank you guys who came watch the video. If you want to watch this on a replay, man, go to my YouTube channel. It will be there. The full replay of this video will be there. It's very, very hard because it's sad, man. This man murdered his own nephew for money. For money. For money. Thank you guys for coming over here on BIGO as well. I love you guys. I'm going to try to go lay down. I'm so fucked up. I'm probably not going to lay down. This is really fucked me up. Shout out to the people that's making your way in the building, the new people that's coming in the building. If you are coming in, hit that follow button before you leave out the building. If you would like to watch this replay, go to my YouTube channel at The Listen Doctor Radio. The Listen Doctor Radio. Or just put it in The Listen Doctor and it'll pop up. Thank you to everybody who came through, all the listeners who came watch me on YouTube, people who came through, and the people who will watch this on the replay. I love you guys. Y'all have a beautiful night, beautiful morning. I'm going to try to lay down and chill. I see you guys when I see y'all. Have a blessed day. Have a beautiful day. Have a productive day. And just tell your loved ones, man, to watch out for their surroundings. Watch out for the people they got around them. Because you never know who could be trying to stab you in the back. And I don't say this to scare people. I tell you this to aware you, to warn you. Because shit like this could happen. This man murdered his nephew for money that he never received. Never received. Thank you guys for coming. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and end the video right now. Thank you guys for coming to watch this on the video on YouTube. Thank you guys for coming. I am the Listen Doctor Radio. I'll see you guys when I see you.